Today's inconvenient truth: you are responsible for your own life. If you're someone who goes around blaming others and not taking responsibility for yourself, it's likely you'll become a victim. Better to become a victor over your circumstances by empowering yourself with responsibility. Now, when you take responsibility, it's not always easy, but at the end of the day, it's empowering because you have no one else to blame. That's today's inconvenient truth. For more of my videos, check out Key for Change on YouTube. Today's inconvenient truth: sometimes we believe because we love somebody and we have a great bond together that means a loving relationship should naturally follow through. My dear friend, this is not the case. Sometimes we have to love people from a distance. We have to let go of people in spite of the way that we feel, in spite of the bond and connection we have together, because holding on to them is not good for our soul. It does not do us a great service. Sometimes we need to love from a distance. That's today's inconvenient truth. For more of my videos, check out Key for Change on YouTube. Today's inconvenient truth: if people use you, if they take advantage of your nature, I'm going to say it's because you allow it. It's highly likely that you have poor boundaries, and because of that, people wade their way into your life and take advantage of your nature. If you want to change it, if you want people to stop violating you and taking the downright mickey, then my encouragement to you is watch my video on personal boundaries. People violate you because you don't have boundaries in place. And if you're a yes person, then that is also a massive factor as well. That's today's inconvenient truth. For more of my videos, check out Key for Change on YouTube. Today's inconvenient truth: there comes a time in life when we need to stop talking about our problem and take action to deal with the issue. And with that, I mean, we need to stop talking about it and do about it. And actually, I know that taking the action is the trickiest part. That's where we encounter our fears. But it's actually when we are able to push through our fears that change comes about and new opportunities arise. However, we have to be brave and bold enough to go from talking to doing. That's today's inconvenient truth. For more of this girl's videos, check out Key for Change on YouTube. Today's inconvenient truth: you hate yourself. And because you hate yourself, this is often the reason why we are unhappy with our relationships, with our jobs, our careers, and ultimately our lives. You project your self-hate outwards, and you invite people into your life who confirm that you are not lovable. If you want to change your life, if you want to move up and on and be happy, then my encouragement to you is to start to take steps to like yourself. Forget loving yourself. Start to like yourself. Treat yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be considerate about the people you let around you. Because if you let the bozos in, they will confirm that you are not worthy. That's today's inconvenient truth. For more of my videos, check out Key for Change on YouTube. Today's inconvenient truth: you are responsible for your life. You are responsible for your career. Often we contract out responsibility to others and we get angry and annoyed when we are disappointed. My dear friend, no one can have your best interest at heart. Only you can do that for yourselves. So if you are angry and annoyed about where you are at this particular point in your life, my encouragement to you is you need to fully consider the choices that you have made. And if you want to change, then my encouragement is you need to take radical self-responsibility for the life and the future that you want for yourself. That's today's inconvenient truth. For more of my videos, check out Key for Change on YouTube. Today's inconvenient truth. The greatest enemy is within. We are often our own worst enemy. At times, we bring and allow people to stay in our lives who do not serve us, who do not have our best interests at heart. And then we have the audacity to get annoyed with them when they take the mick and violate us. Now, if that speaks to you, my dear friend, my encouragement is to stop blaming them and take full radical responsibility for the choices that you make and the people that you allow around you. If you want to change, then you need to understand how you work in ways where you sabotage your own greatness. That's today's inconvenient truth. For more of my videos, check out Key for Change on YouTube. Today's inconvenient truth. If you're a yes person, if you give in to others' demands and say yes in order to please people and keep them close to you, it's highly likely that you fear abandonment. And if you want to test the caliber of people around you, then practice saying no. People will reveal their truth to you when you start to say no. That's today's inconvenient truth. For more of my videos, check out Key for Change on YouTube. Today's inconvenient truth. Some people are emotionally unavailable. The reason they are emotionally unavailable may be because of a past trauma, or it could be because of how their brain is wired. However, if you are an emotionally sensitive person, then it is important that you understand that when your emotional needs arise, emotionally unavailable people will not be able to support you. They will not be able to identify your emotions. And so it may be beneficial for you to consider what you do about the limitations of your relationship. That's today's inconvenient truth. For more of my videos, check out Key for Change on YouTube. When was the last time you tried something new? We often want change, but we are highly unlikely to take that step to bring about difference in our lives. I know if I didn't step out of my comfort zone, I wouldn't be here in sunny Portugal today. And that's what my video is going to be about, trying something new. For more of my videos, check out Key for Change on YouTube. On the path to becoming your greatest self, some of your greatest haters will be the people who are closest to you. In actual fact, some of the people who underestimate you, who view you as an underdog, will be in your own family, and it will hurt. My friend, I encourage you not to try to change their opinion. When we try to change people's opinions of us, when we try to make them know that we're not who we once was and we have evolved, we've already lost. Leave them with their opinion and just continue to shine on and put yourselves around people who also believe in you and who can elevate you. That's today's inconvenient truth. For more of my videos, check out Key for Change on YouTube. Today's inconvenient truth. Ladies, if you're experiencing man problems, then here's today's inconvenient truth that may help you. Firstly, it's highly likely you are wedded to a fantasy or hopeless hope about how the relationship should be. And in doing so, you circumnavigate or you don't deal with the reality of the situation. The longer you remain hopeful, optimistic, and avoid dealing with the sticky, tricky parts of your relationship, is the more you will upset yourself, get annoyed, and then you will think that that person is making you crazy when potentially you're doing it to yourself. That's today's inconvenient truth. Be aware of the hopes and fantasies that you have in your mind. For more of my videos, check out Key for Change on YouTube. Today's inconvenient truth. If you are in a relationship with a narcissistic individual and you desire to stay in such a relationship, you need to understand you must accept the nonsense that comes with being in such a relationship. You need to accept that your self-esteem will suffer in this relationship. You need to understand that you will be disrespected in this relationship. You need to understand that the issue is not the man. The issue is yours if you desire to stay in such a relationship where you are annihilated, abused, and someone takes advantage of you. That's today's inconvenient truth. For more of my videos, check out Key for Change on YouTube. Today's inconvenient truth. We teach people how to treat us. So if you are baffled by the way that you've been treated by someone close to you, if you feel that they are disrespectful, they violate and take advantage of you, then my encouragement is to don't waste your energy trying to work them out. Focus your energy and ask yourself, why do you allow it? Now, if you focus on yourself, you're more likely to get answers, and potentially it's there that you can make different choices to empower yourself. That's today's inconvenient truth. We teach people how to treat us. For more of my videos, check out Key for Change on YouTube. Today's inconvenient truth. Be careful about positive affirmations. At times, positive affirmations are a way of avoiding or distracting yourself from dealing with rubbish or violation or liberties that people are taking in your life. If you constantly positively reframe difficult negative situations in order to make them positive, you could well be setting yourself up for future problems. For more of my videos, check out Key for Change on YouTube. Today's inconvenient truth. If you are setting goals for yourself, if you are trying to change your life, then it's likely that you will encounter obstacles. Most people, when they encounter obstacles, they give up. My dear friend, you've lost the race. If you set yourself a goal, you need to expect the obstacles. Actually, when you set a goal, expect obstacles, because what is happening is you are being challenged. How bad do you want it? When I started my business, the amount of obstacles that were in my way, I should have given up. But I had a passion and a fire within me, and I was determined to overcome those challenges. And that's why I'm no longer in a job that I hate. That's today's inconvenient truth. When the obstacles come, you have to push through. For more of my videos, check out Key for Change on YouTube. Today's inconvenient truth. Ladies, some men love the chase. They want you when they cannot have you. And when you give in to them and they have you, they use you, abuse you, and fling you down, and then you have to decide to retreat again. When you empower yourself and then they see you again, the chase continues. If you decide to give in, you will lose your power. So, we need to be very mindful of the choices that we make around these particular people. Be careful not to be drawn in by your heart and make wise choices with your head. That's today's inconvenient truth. Some men just love the chase. For more of my videos, check out your girl on YouTube. Today's Friday, it's 8 o'clock and I'm about to go into therapy with Dr. Hurst. Now, I'm an experienced psychotherapist and a supervisor, so when I'm selecting a therapist, I need someone who's got some good experience and a lot of understanding, and that's why I choose to see a doctor. Actually, I don't even know what I'm going to talk about today, and often I find those sessions are quite exciting because you never know where it's going to go. So this is just a little example about how I look after myself to maintain my wellness. I'm not here because I've got any crises going on in my life. I'm here because I want to look after myself. I want to look after my greatness, and I want to make sure that I'm in the best possible place to help other people do exactly the same. That's from me, Keeley Taverner. Take care of you, because if you don't, who will? Today's inconvenient truth. If you're someone who's been brought up in a counsellor state, it's highly likely that you are going to have to fight far more harder for your dreams. You're going to have far more obstacles to overcome than people from privileged backgrounds. And that is simply the reality of the situation. If you're someone who's been brought up in a counsellor state, just like myself, you're going to work twice as hard to get half as far. That is today's inconvenient truth. For more of Keeley Taverner's videos, check out Key for Change on YouTube. Today's inconvenient truth. We teach people how to treat us. If you find that people are disrespectful towards you, they take advantage of your kindness, or they have no regard for you as a person with needs, then potentially you have enabled and allowed people to treat you that way. And so if you want to change it, it's going to be incredibly important that you put boundaries in place. And when you do, you need to expect relationship casualties. People won't like when you put boundaries in place, and they will want the old you back. That's today's inconvenient truth. For more of my videos, check out Key for Change on YouTube. Today's inconvenient truth. Behavior is always a revealer of truth. If you're someone who's believed things that people have told you and you found yourself incredibly disappointed, or you've noticed a massive anomaly between what somebody says and what they do, my dear friend, my encouragement to you is watch how a man behaves. Behavior is always a revealer of truth. That's today's inconvenient truth. For more of my videos, check out Key for Change on YouTube.